If we look at the user interface of G-Stomper Studio, we will see that some of the buttons have a little triangle mark at the upper left corner. All buttons with this mark have a secondary function, which can be accessed by long pressing the button. Long click these buttons to access their secondary function. The toolbar is located on top of each view and provides global and screen-related controls. The following global controls are available on every screen. The exit button on the main screen, aka back button on all other screens. The main menu, which is the main entry point for most operations. Load, save, export, share, etc. The view menu, which is used to navigate through the application. The play, stop, record controls, the unsaved changes indicator, and the main out VU meter. All other controls on the toolbar are related to the particular view that we're working with at the moment, which means they can vary across the screens. The play, stop, record controls are available on all screens and are used to start, pause, stop the sequencer and turn recording on or off. Furthermore, play, stop, record each provide an extended long click menu to access closely related functions and settings. Play button. With a short click, playback starts or pauses. With a long click, you show the extended play menu. When you are shown the extended play menu, you can find the following options in it. Tempo, BPM controls. From here we'll have quick access to the sequencer tempo. You can increase or decrease the tempo of the song using both the slider and the available buttons. Tempo lock turns the tempo lock on or off. The tempo lock does lock the tempo at the current value, as long as the sequencer is running. This can be very useful if you're working with different patterns within a set and you want them in the same tempo, even if the patterns all have different BPM settings. Ableton link controls, button to toggle Ableton link on or off, and slider to adjust the latency compensation. Ableton link is a technology that synchronizes musical beat, tempo, phase, and start-stop commands across multiple link-enabled applications, running on one or more devices. Applications on devices connected to the local wireless network discover each other automatically and form a musical session in which each participant can perform independently. Anyone can start or stop while still staying in time. Anyone can change the tempo, the others will follow. Anyone can join or leave without disrupting the session. In short, with the incredible technology implemented in G-Stomper Studio, it will be much easier and more fun to perform live sessions. Stop button. With a short click, if the sequencer is running, sequencer stops. With a short click, if the sequencer is already stopped, stop all current playing sounds. With a long click, show the extended stop menu. When you are shown the extended stop menu, you can find the following options in it. Stop audio session recorder. Stop the running audio recording session. This button is disabled if no recording session is running. The audio session recorder lets you record the master out signal as a .wav in real time. This makes it very easy to capture the audio while you're doing live jams. For more information on this option, please refer to the G-Stomper Studio user manual. For a more detailed explanation, see Chapter, Audio Export and Bouncing, Section, Audio Session Recorder Real-Time Audio Export. Stop lock. Turns the stop lock on or off. The stop lock allows you to run the sequencer even if you lock the screen of your device, which normally stops the sequencer. This is useful for musicians who want to practice an instrument with their headphones and keep the device in their pocket while it's still running. Record button. With a short click, recording starts. With a long click, show the extended record menu. When you are shown the extended record menu, you can find the following options in it. Start audio session recorder. Start a new audio recording session. As mentioned earlier, the audio session recorder lets you record the master out signal as .wav in real time. This makes it very easy to capture the audio while you're doing live jams. Remember that more detailed information about this option can be found in Chapter, Audio Export and Bouncing section, Audio Session Recorder, Real-Time Audio Export of the User Manual. Record sample from microphone. Start a new, empty audio editor, ready to record a new sample. For more detailed information on this option, please refer to the User Manual in Chapter Audio Editor section, Capture and Record Samples. Metronome. Turn the metronome click on or off. Metronome volume slider. Adjust the volume of the metronome click. Unsaved changes indicator. The Unsaved Changes indicator keeps track of all the changes you make in your current composition. The indicator turns red if there are any unsaved changes in the current composition. Main Out VU meter. The Main Out VU meter shows the output level at the very end of the signal chain. That is, where the signal is passed to the speakers. View menu. The View menu gives you access to all available modules in G-Stomper. Clicking on the View button will display the View menu. When the menu opens, the currently active screen will be highlighted. If we want to change the view, we only have to select the desired view from the available ones in the menu. Depending on the particular view, there are additional quick access buttons to directly related modules. All sequencers, for example, provide quick access to the FX and mixture modules. Main menu. The main menu is the main entry point for most of the operations we perform with the application. If we short-click on the main menu button, we will be shown the main menu. The main menu provides all essential operations to load, save, export and share your work. Furthermore, it provides operations to copy and clear musical data. The Load Save tabs, for example, provide operations to load or save a complete pattern set. That is, all patterns plus song data. A single pattern, or a sound set as a pattern, or as a sample or preset for a single track. Before we continue, let's give a brief explanation of the type of data that G-Stomper Studio handles. A pattern set is a complete musical setup. It contains all musical data in one single file. A pattern is a single loop which is a component of a pattern set. A sound set is a set of multiple sounds for a pattern. A sample is a single sound for a single sampler track. A VA preset is a single preset for a single VA-Beast synthesizer track. Notice the little triangle mark at the upper left corner of the main menu button? As we said at the beginning of this tutorial, this mark indicates that the button has a secondary function which can be accessed by a long pressing the button. A long click on the main menu button will open the Quick Pattern Set Navigator. The Quick Pattern Set Navigator is a quick access to all the basic pattern set operations, including the long press menu. Furthermore, it allows you to switch between different patterns within a pattern set without navigating to the pattern set view. But for more information about the operation of this browser, please refer to Chapter, Pattern Set and Song Arranger section, Quick Pattern Set Navigator of the User Manual. The Back button. The Back button navigates to the previously opened screen. The Exit button. The Exit button exits the application.
I want more pain.
All faders and XY pads in the G-Stomper apps have two main operation modes. Absolute, the default operating mode. When you touch a fader or XY pad in absolute mode, then the value gets set immediately to the touch position. When you touch the pan fader at its max position, for example, then it jumps immediately to the max value. Relative. In relative mode, a fader or XY pad just moves when you move the pointer, that could be your finger, relative to its base position, depending on the movement. If you touch the pan fader at its maximum position, for example, then it sticks in the middle as long as you don't make any movement. Only when you move your finger pulling it down, for example, then the fader moves relatively to its base position. The main fader behavior can be changed in the setup dialog. To switch to relative behavior, enable the checkbox in the General UI section. Fader and XY pad fine-tune. In addition to the global absolute and relative fader and XY pad behaviour, you can temporarily enable the fine-tune mode. With fine-tune mode enabled, all faders and XY pads move 15 times slower than the moving pointer, your finger. This allows you to make very precise settings. Note that if you click on the fine-tune button continuously, you will activate or deactivate the sticky mode functionality. A little later in this same video we'll see what the sticky mode feature is and what it's used for. The fine-tune mode can be turned on or off on various screens across the application. In the drum machine, the VA-Beast synthesizer, the mixer, the FX view, the Master Sum FX view, fader and XY pad sticky mode. With the fader and XY pad sticky mode, you can stick all faders and XY pads to their current position. If enabled, you can move the faders and XY pads like normal, but if you release them, they jump back to their original position, hence the name sticky. This is very useful if you want to play around with the parameters without having to work back to the original position. As we said before, long press the fine-tune buttons to turn the sticky mode on or off. Fader info, display current value, and reset. There are two more important things you should know about G-Stomper faders. If we want to show the current fader value, we'll have to short-click the label below the fader to show a tooltip with the current fader value. If we want to reset the fader to its default position, we'll have to long-click the label below the fader, e.g. pan 50, pitch 50, volume 85. The G-Stomper app layout is generally built for screen aspect ratios from 16:9 to 16:10. Screens which exceed that limit will get black letterbox bars either in horizontal or vertical directions. If the letterbox space is large enough, then a quick navigation bar is displayed instead of the black bars. This is the case on devices with screen aspect ratios of 4:3 or 18:9, for example.